Chris Calamita. I represent Lucky Monkey Computer Repair. I am the social media director and all-around digital marketing guru, and I'm here to answer your questions.
Chris, question here is, keep in mind that I'm not fluent in computerese. What is the simplest thing that we can do to help others or help ourselves?
What I say is the simplest thing you can do to help others is, and all it requires is the simplest understanding of Facebook is when people post something that they're looking for something, they have a plumbing issue, they have a computer issue, they have any type of issue, a sickness issue, a dental issue, any kind of issue like that, just say, hey, I have a friend, and give them their information, give them the name, phone number, and say something really nice about them. Don't just say, hey, here's this guy. Say, hey, he's a friend. He's done great work. He's done great work for me. To me, that is really the simplest thing you can do.
All right. How do we become more internet savvy?
Becoming more internet savvy, well, I think it breaks down to how anyone learns anything. Some people can read up on a subject on their own and become pretty fluent in it. Others need help. So what I would recommend then in that case would be to find the most knowledgeable person you know on that subject or any subject and get them to tutor you on it.
All right. One last question. How do I find things to post on the internet?
Okay, well, to find things to post on the internet, well, the easiest way to do it is to go to Google and you would type in what your business is, or what you sell, what services you provide, and find general articles about them, and then you would go into the address bar, right click, copy, go to your Facebook page, go to the status section, click on that with your cursor, right click, paste, and then press submit, and that you will have shared an article. But also along with that is you should also write your own little introduction to the article and how it applies to your business.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Chris, how does Facebook charge for advertising, and can it be geographic specific? And how small a geographic area?
Great question. Facebook is an incredible value, especially when it comes to your being geographic specific. Well, let's attack the value question first. Facebook will allow you to, for as little as $1 a day, to keep your ad running for up to a year.
Wow.
So $365 for a year. Now, typically, you would only probably use, keep an ad running for about 2 weeks to a month. But once again, the option is there for up to a year. Obviously, the more money you spend per day, the more opportunity you have to reach. And your reach can be anywhere from, there's functionality in Facebook as far as doing really, really targeted local ads that can go as little as 2 miles, and then there's also up to 50 miles. So it's an incredible range.
Thank you.
Chris, I had a question. What types of paid Facebook advertising are people doing? You covered this a little bit, but if you could go into a little bit more depth. And I've also heard that it's very inexpensive compared to other internet advertising. Is that correct?
Yes, that is very correct. And as I just said, but yes, as little as $1 a day. In my experience, I go between $10 to $20 a day for the entire length of the campaign, which is typically 2 weeks. The types of things that you should advertise on Facebook is, now I would say for especially the small local business is to keep it very specific. Obviously, large companies, they can spend millions of dollars on an ad campaign to introduce their new mascot. But for a small local business, you want to keep it very, 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 very specific to what you're selling. Be very simple. Keep it simple. Be very descriptive. And this is probably the most important part. It's been a long time since the last time I saw any kind of an ad that didn't have a very high quality photography or video. That is the utmost of importance. Text is still very important, as I said. Be be very descriptive and detailed, but also short and to the point in the description. But yeah, you need eye-catching visuals.
Chris, in regards to search engine optimization, is there anything that we can do as small business owners to get placement on Google without paying a tremendous amount of money?
Oh yes, getting placement on Google without spending a ton of money, it is very possible. And the biggest thing that you need to do is to be indexed on Google. Make sure all your information on Google is correct. Their local business section. Make sure everything's correct. Your name, your address, phone number, website, obviously for search engine optimization purposes, and also very important, be indexed on Google Maps. That's probably the most important part. Other things you can do are, in addition to Google, have yourself indexed on all of the other third-party sites, index and review sites like Yelp and Manta and other sites such as that. And something very important is, if you're maintaining a website, keeping it updated with fresh content every week. Whether you're writing it yourself, whether it's someone in your office, whether you pay someone to write freelance. There are people out there who, in general pay, the average I believe is around $25 for a 500 word article, if you want to go take that route. But yeah, just making sure that you're indexed on all of Google and the third-party sites, as well as making sure that your content is freshly updated.
Perfect, thank you.
Chris, if you're a mature business that only wants a few larger opportunities, you don't want to be deluged with a bunch of small Mickey Mouse stuff, what would be the best channels to work through?
For a mature business that's looking for big opportunities, and I would certainly recommend LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the professional network. You can find your way into connecting with thousands upon thousands of high-level executives from many companies, either through if you have a connection in common, directly connecting with them. There are public groups that you can join and essentially mingle with them. Essentially, it's the same principle of a networking group, as well as there's a article writing blogs platform that you can either write yourself on, or you can go around and find other people's blogs and comment back to them and start a dialogue that way. Now, while I would recommend LinkedIn the highest, I also would not discount the more personal social media networks like Facebook and Twitter. I would use this as an example. If you're, say, I'll backtrack a little bit. I not only recommend following like the business page of a company. I recommend if the owner, the CEO, the president is a public figure of some renown themselves, follow them as well, because you might find an opportunity where you don't expect it. I'll use this as an example. You can, if that person is, just writes out one day, hey, I'll be in such and such area. What's a great place to eat for lunch? And you're familiar with that area, you know a great restaurant, you can recommend them a great restaurant, give it a great review, especially if they actually go there and enjoy the experience. Something as simple as that, just a simple, genuine interaction can lead to a new business relationship.
Thank you.
Chris, can you rank in order the top 5 social media outlets that you should be working if you are spending time or money advertising in social media? And are any of these trending significantly up or down in popularity?
Okay, as far as the top 5 social media sites for advertising, right now I'm going to start by giving you 4 and then circle around to another one because it's all connected. First, I'll talk about is YouTube, which a lot of people don't consider a social media site, but it is, in many people's opinion, including mine. YouTube has incredible conversion rates as far as, if you were able to put on an effective YouTube video. Obviously, there's higher barrier to entry to using YouTube because not only are you spending money on the actual ad, but when you're playing that game, you need to be creating, high quality video with equipment and editing software, as well as having, the creative idea to, reach through the clutter on YouTube. But if you feel like you have those things, I think YouTube could be very useful. The next one is LinkedIn advertising, especially if you're in business to business. LinkedIn advertising could be a great benefit for you. And LinkedIn is the only social media site that I know of that also employs an entire, you can do it on your own or through a team of your own that you put together, but LinkedIn also has the ability to provide you with their own advertising team to create really professional, high quality ads, as well as mine very deep into their data. So that's definitely a positive for them. And the next is Twitter. What Twitter allows you to do for advertising wise is to simply, like on Facebook, you boost a post or a tweet. If you feel like you've created something really good, you can just press a few buttons, and it's targeted towards whoever your market is. And then number one, without a doubt, Facebook. Facebook is still king for the money you spend, for the reach that you can have. There's nothing. There really is no greater than Facebook. And what I was to say about bringing it back around, Instagram is another social media site. It's a photo display app, but it is owned by Facebook. So Facebook actually has it very available for you to actually, with no extra charge, have a Facebook ad also on Instagram, even if you do not have an Instagram account. So those two are linked in together. So that's double your value. And so when selecting social media sites to advertise in, I would say, hey, it's Facebook, and then whatever else fits your needs and what you can afford. As far as gaining or lowering in popularity, I don't really see anything lowering in popularity. I think they're all gaining in popularity as all these sites gain users, as younger generations grow up and older generations realize that they need to adapt. So I see that they're going. All these advertising platforms are going to grow over time, but I do not see any time in the near future where Facebook will not be number one. Thank you.
Thank you.